Namaste Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. My dear Lord, please guide us all so that we can learn from the example of your great devotee Hanuman and come closer to you by his blessings. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming today on this occasion of Hanumanji's appearance day. And among the many adjectives that are used for describing Hanumanji, one of them is Buddhimatam Varishtam. He's said to be an extremely intelligent person. Buddhimatam is one who is intelligent, and Varishtam is the best among those, the greatest. So today we'll discuss from Hanuman's life about how he exhibits great intelligence in the most important mission of his life. Which is the most important mission? Sorry? That is a life mission, but within that he has a particular mission. Yes, search for Mother Sita. And within that also at a particular time. The projector is gone? Oh wow, okay. Okay. Okay, sure. So today I'll discuss about how Hanuman exhibits extraordinary presence of mind and intelligence and wisdom in dealing with the situations that he faces when he is in Lanka. So these are all divine characters. At the same time, we are looking at them today from the perspective of what we can learn in our life. So I'll try to make the situation as relatable as possible to us so that we can look at some things and learn from them. So here, if we look at the life of Hanumanji, what exactly has happened? He has now come alone to Lanka. And in Lanka, he is going to search for Sita. So I'll talk about 4 ways in which he exhibits. Is this my screen? That's not my screen, it seems. Okay. No, it's not coming here. Is it connected till now or not yet? Okay, no problem. I'll speak without it. So, when Hanumanji comes to Lanka, at that time, he has a formidable task. He has to find someone whom he has never seen, or at least not seen at close quarters. He has seen Sita once when Ravan is taking overhead, and from high up in the sky, she drops down some jewelry. We just got sight of her very briefly. And then he's come to Lanka. Not only does he not he's seen her, but he doesn't even know where she is. So the 4 steps that I'll talk about is the 4 phases of the challenge that he faced and how he dealt with it. First itself was finding Sita. The second stage was earning the trust of Sita. Then the third was encountering Ravana. The fourth was warning Ravana. And each of these, buddhimatam varishtam, he exhibits that. So when Hanuman goes into Lanka, okay, that is quite distracting. Okay, leave it. I'll manage without it if it doesn't work. So when he goes into Lanka, he naturally searches in the most expected places. Say if you lost a key, then we look at the places, okay, this is where I normally keep the key, or this is where I went, I might have dropped the key. So he first goes into Lanka. Now he goes across the ocean all day. When he gets in, he takes a very inconspicuous form so that he will not draw any unnecessary attention to himself. And monkeys, at least in that part of the world, are not very suspicious or dangerous creatures. So some of the guards see the monkey and they try to shoo it away, but the monkey just goes a little bit distance and then he continues on. So he goes from palace to palace to palace, searching for Sita. Now he's waiting for it to be night. So the first point which I want to talk about is hope. So I'll be using the acronym HEAD, how he kept his head. So first is keeping hope. We need many things to succeed in life, face our challenges. The most important thing that we need is hope. If we lose hope, we lose everything. We can lose externals, and that's bad. Among internals also we can lose many things. But if we lose hope, there's a slight difference between confidence and hope. Confidence is, I can do it. Hope is, things will work out. Now, hope can seem very passive at one level, but it is not. Hope and confidence are both meant to go together. See, confidence is, I can do my part. But life is so complicated and the world is so vast that even when we do our part the best, still things may not work out. So, if you consider sports, a batsman may bat very well. But if it rains and the match is wiped out, no matter how well the batsman bats, nothing is going to be of much help. So on one side, we need confidence that I can do this. But along with I can do this, things will work out. That's hope. So we need both. Now Hanuman didn't lack in confidence. But as the journey went forward, hope started declining. His journey, his adventures in Lanka are quite a turbulent ride. So he goes and starts searching in the most expected places. He goes into Ravana's palace. He figures out, okay, which is the biggest palace. Ravana is obviously the king, and he also has the biggest ego. That biggest ego will be seen in the biggest palace. He searches through that palace, and he can't find Sita anywhere over there. Yeah? Okay. I have a tab here and I have a Type-C to HDMI. Anyway, there's a Type-C to HDMI. You can see if it works with this. Till then, I'll just continue. If it doesn't work, that's okay. So what happens? He comes in and he starts searching in the palaces. And there, in the middle of Ravana's palace, he sees a spectacularly beautiful woman. And he thinks this is Sita. He's jumping in joy. Yes, I found Sita, I found Sita. And then, initially it is her beauty. He's not personally attracted to her beauty in a carnal sense, but her beauty is what makes him think this is Sita. But then, as his excitement dies down, he looks at that sleeping woman's face and he sees that she is looking very peaceful, quite contented, happy. And he thinks, Sita will not be like that. Sita will not Let it be. Not that one. Something else is there. Yeah, that one. So, can you put it aside and do it? It's distracting everyone. Take the wire aside. If it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, disconnect. So he starts thinking, she's so peaceful. Sita will be in agony in separation from Ram. He has seen the agony in which Ram is. He thinks this cannot be Sita. And then as he looks at her carefully, he starts realizing that this is not Sita. His excitement dies down. And they keep searching, searching. He cannot find Sita anywhere. On one side, he has to maintain his cover, he has to be very discreet. And he has to search. As Ravan kept her in his smaller palace, he goes after one palace, second palace, third palace. Wherever he goes, he just cannot find her. And whenever we try to attempt something extraordinary, no, there is a lot riding on it. There's a lot of expectation, a lot of anticipation, a lot of energy. And Hanuman has already achieved a spectacular feat by coming all alone across the ocean. And now, suddenly, what has happened? See, throughout his life, Hanuman till now has not been alone. The only thing that he had done alone was, as a child, he had leapt into the sky to catch the sun. And that had ended in disaster. He had become somewhat deformed by that. So now, after that, he has always been with Sugriv, always been with other Vanaras. It's the first time he's embarking alone, and the signs look very ominous. He keeps searching, desperate. And then he just looked through each and every palace in the kingdom. Where does he search for? He's exhausted, dejected, frustrated, totally disheartened, sitting on a palace. And as he's sitting there, the moon gets covered by the clouds, and the darkness in the sky reflects the darkness in his mind and heart. So far I have come, and did I come so far just to fail? Was it all for nothing? And as that despair is gripping his heart, he starts thinking about the future. The mind is a funny thing. How the mind will work, we can't really anticipate it. But if we are determined, we have a basic level of determination, however the mind works, we will find a right path ahead. So as he starts thinking that if I can't find Sita, what will happen? I have to go back and tell all the Vanaras, they will be dejected. And then we have to go and tell Sugriv. Sugriv will be bitterly disappointed. Then we'll have to go and tell Ram. And Ram will be shattered by this. He is already in so much pain in separation from Sita. If he comes to know that Sita is never to be found, he will not be able to live. If Ram is not able to live, Lakshman will not live. And Sugriv is already burdened by the guilt of being responsible for his brother's death, at least partly. Now if he thinks that he failed Ram and Lakshman, failed Ram who helped him gain his kingdom, Sugriv will not be able to live. And then when the news reaches Ayodhya, Bharat already holds himself responsible for Ram being sent on exile. Although Bharat was not, but still he felt, for my sake, my mother did this, I am responsible. If he comes to know while in exile, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, all of them perished, the pain of that will be unbearable for him. And he will also not be able to live. So two entire glorious dynasties will perish, all because of my failure to find Sita. He says, I would rather die searching for Sita rather than go and give such news. I will not let this happen. As long as I'm alive, I will keep searching for Sita. Maybe sometimes over my dead body you will do this. That means you will not do this. So he says, I will keep searching for Sita. As from that dark trajectory of thoughts, where he sees some consequence that is so horrifying as to be unacceptable. Now, when we foresee a consequence that is horrifying and unacceptable, that may just make us more gloomy and dejected and hopeless. Or it can make us determined. No, whatever it takes, I will not let it happen. Or at least as long as there is life in my body, I won't let this happen. I will keep searching for Sita. And as that determination rises in his heart, that is reflected in the sky. The moon breaks free from the clouds and light streams across. And as he's looking around, he's already searched through the palaces. He starts thinking, where else can I search? And in the moonlight, which is also accompanied by dawn is happening now. He searched all throughout the night. So he sees the moonlight streaming on a nearby forest grove. And suddenly he thinks, hey, I have not searched in the forest groves. It's quite likely that Sita would have refused to live in Ravan's palace. He remembered how when Sugriva had invited Ram to come and stay in Kishkinda in his palace, Ram had said, my sentence was to exile to the forest. Not just exile outside Ayodhya into another kingdom. Because Janak Maharaj had already offered him, you come and stay with me in my palace for the 14 years. So he says, so if Ram is taking that sentence so seriously, Sita will also do that. So maybe Sita is here. His heart becomes alive with hope. And at the renewed spring in his bounds, he leaps across to the forest grove. And as he's moving forward, then he looks around and he suddenly sees Ravan, the same monstrous being who had been sleeping at night when he had seen. Now he sees him marching towards somewhere. He looks very purposeful, even angry. Now, Hanuman moves back and waits and watches. So when we talk about our head, keeping our head, not losing our head, one aspect is never losing hope. So the way we maintain hope is by one way we maintain hope is by contemplating what is unacceptable for us. And then deciding, I won't let this happen. Right. Whatever I can do, I will do it to prevent this from happening. Now hope can come, that's why I said the mind is peculiar. See, sometimes thinking of the positive can bring hope, but thinking of the negative can also bring hope. Right. Things can go down so far, I can't let this happen. Things can become this wonderful, yeah, I want that to happen. So hope can come both ways. In the case of Hanuman, hope comes by contemplating the dreadful consequences of failure. And no, I cannot let it happen. So with that hope, he starts searching again. Now this is where the acronym I was discussing was what? Anyone remember the acronym? Head. Hanuman Buddhimatam Varishtam. So Buddhi is intelligence or head. So I'm going to talk 4 points about Hanuman's journey in Lanka. So H was how he maintains his hope. Even when, like I'm like, hope against hope you maintain. So like that he maintains hope. Now E is expertise. Now expertise, what does it mean in this context? It's expertise in earning trust. Expertise can be in many different fields. So now when Hanuman is watching, he sees Ravan approach. The forest grows and he sees there are a group of demonesses who are surrounding one particular tree. And they part when they see Ravan coming. And then he sees that there is a beautiful lady whose beauty is covered or concealed by the soiled clothes that she is wearing and by the sad expression that is there on her face. And yet, despite it all, like a jewel that might be covered by dust and dirt, it is still a refulgent jewel. So, despite her state of being disheveled and disheartened, her beauty is still striking. And the way she shrinks backward on seeing Ravan come, Hanuman recognizes this must be Sita. He discreetly jumps from tree to tree and comes closer and tries to hear, but he doesn't want to raise suspicion, so he's waiting and watching. He clearly sees that Ravan is trying to tempt Sita, threaten Sita, but she pays no attention to him. And then Ravan turns towards the demonesses and yells at them, basically to threaten them that they should get her, Sita, to comply. And he walks away in a huff. Hanuman keeps himself concealed as Ravan goes away. And then the demonesses, they surround Sita and they are threatening her. They're scaring her, threatening her, intimidating her. And then, finally they get exhausted. Hanuman realizes this must be a daily occurrence. His heart goes out to Sita thinking what her plight must be. He longs to just go and assure her, comfort her, give her the confidence that Ram is coming soon. But he is a warrior and he understands the danger of doing this. One is that Sita might be surprised and she might scream and the demonesses will get attracted. He could fight and kill the demonesses easily, but he doesn't want to unless it's necessary. And if he gets caught in fighting, he might not be able to talk with Sita. So he thinks what to do. See, when two people are unknown to each other, one of the best ways to develop a relationship is to focus on what is a shared interest. Now, if two people may not know each other, let's say two of us are from the same country. If we are from say India or some part of India, then we talk about something about India. That's a shared interest. If we are working in the same field, then we talk about the common field. So now Hanuman does not focus on introducing himself. He starts singing gently, sweetly the story of Lord Ram's life. And Hanuman's voice and his words are very sweet, as Lord Ram has himself acknowledged before. And Hanuman is using the very gift that he has been given, the gift for which Lord Ram has praised him. He's now going to use that gift. And he starts singing gently. Now, sometimes when there is a very close bond of love between two people, if, say for example, the mother is doing some work at home in the kitchen and the baby is sleeping in the nearby bedroom. Now if the baby makes a slight noise, nobody else may hear that noise, but the mother hears. Now when there is love, even the smallest of sounds, they are heard very loudly. Now if there is anger or hatred, two people may scream at each other and still nothing is heard. Isn't it? So Hanuman sings very sweetly. It's a very soft and sweet voice. The demonesses, they don't hear. They've gone a little distance. And because he's speaking about Ram, Sita's ears perk. Oh, who's speaking about Ram? Who in Lanka is speaking of the glories of Ram? She turns around and she sees, oh, the sound is coming from the tree. And she looks up and she says, oh, there is a small monkey over there. And that monkey is sitting with folded hands and is singing the glories of Ram. She's intrigued. But, as we say, once burnt, twice shy. Sita has been burnt once when she trusted that person who looked like a sage and who turned out to be a demon. That's why she's never going to go by appearances now. Could this be Ravan? Could this be some of the demons of Ravan who have now taken this girl to somehow get her to lower her guard and then exploit her in some way? So Hanuman very gently jumps down from one branch to another branch to another branch, and finally he comes in front of Sita. Without doing anything to alarm or threaten her, just continues singing the glories of Ram. And as he's singing, Sita's heart is softening. In this place, it's who would speak the glories of Ram, who would speak with such sweetness. While, say, in the heart, there is one side of us which has doubts, another side which wants to put trust, to have faith. And both of these are important in their own way. If you are driving a car, then the faculty of doubting is like the brakes, and the faculty of trusting is like the accelerator. In a car, we need both the brakes and the accelerator. Now, if we are always doubting, and like we are sitting in the car and we are only pressing the brakes, the car will never move anywhere. Or even if the engine is moving, the car will just move round and round and not get anywhere else. On the other hand, if you are in a car with only accelerator and no brakes, then we will go, but we'll go where we don't want to go. Isn't it? So now we need both faith and doubt together. So now, in one sense, trust and doubt are warring in Sita's heart. Is this really someone from Ram? Is this, or is this some trick of Ravan? So Hanuman keeps gently singing, and then he introduces himself. As he sees that Sita's heart is softening, from her face he sees that suspicion is decreasing. And then finally, he introduces Sita. She wants to believe, but she's still not ready. Then he takes out the signet that Ram has given her. And Sita sees that, and she just takes it, touches it to her heart, and she feels Ram's presence by that. And still, could it be that this is a demon who has somehow seized this particular signet from Ram and somehow brought it? Hanuman sees Sita is still not understanding and not accepting. Now he doesn't blame her. He doesn't guilt her. You know how far I went through, how many risks I took. I just did all this for you and you're not ready to trust me. No, he doesn't get angry with her. He doesn't demand that trust. Now we may do a lot for someone, but sometimes when we come in front of that person, they want to see what do we do for them at that time. Sometimes as parents, we may work very hard for our children. But then we may say, I'm working so hard to earn money to send you to school, to give you all the good things. But if in front of our child we come and that time we just snap at them and yell at them. Say, I'm doing so much for you. And the only thing you are doing is shouting at me. That's what the child will see, isn't it? So it's important to do many things in the background. But when we are with someone we care for, how we conduct ourselves at that time is very important also. So Hanuman does not demand that trust. Then, as he's speaking the stories of Ram, then he starts speaking a very intimate pastime. Now Ram has told him this pastime, and this is something which is known only to Ram and Sita. And there are certain intimate details. Sita knows that Ram would not tell this to anyone. That Ram has not told this even to Lakshman. There are some things between the husband and wife, they stay with them only. So the fact that Hanuman knows this means, Sita thinks, Hanuman must be very trusted by Ram. And that's when the defensive wall for her own protection that she has built, that it breaks down. And Sita starts crying in joy that Ram has finally found her. Ram's messenger has come, and she asks Hanuman, how is Ram? What is he doing? And Hanuman says how Ram is in constant agony, thinking about her, calling for her name, longing to be with her. She asks, why has he not come for me? She says, he didn't know where you are. Now I will go and tell. and soon he will come. So Sita is gripped with a bittersweet joy that Ram has not forgotten her, that Ram still remembers her, Ram is going to come for her. That brings joy. But still that Ram is in agony because he's away from her. That is bitter for her. And then, as this moves forward, now Hanuman hears. Sita says that tell Hanuman, tell Ram to come immediately. Otherwise, Ravan has threatened me. He has said that I am going to enjoy you one way or the other. No, there is, in English, there is a, like we have carnivorous. So carnivorous is one who eats flesh and enjoys. Now, Ravan is a Rakshasa. Rakshasa is one who eats humans also. So he said that he wanted Sita to fulfill his desire. He wanted her to fulfill his carnal desire. Carnal is basically sexual desire. But if he can't fulfill her carnal desire, then she will fulfill his carnivorous desire. So he said that I will have my cooks cook you for my breakfast and I'll eat you up if you don't submit within 1 year. When Hanuman hears this, he gets alarmed. He says, that's too much of a risk. Ram will come immediately, but it will take time to come all the way. He says, better you come with me, I'll take you with me. Now, all along, Hanuman he has taken a very small form so that he will not be detected. And when they are talking also, Sita turns around and Sita are sitting so strategically that the demon is on the other side. They don't see. So, now, Hanuman knows his power. But Sita thinks, oh monkey, you are so tiny, how will you carry me? Now, Hanuman has just exhibited supernatural powers leaping across Lanka. It's like somebody who is very virile and masculine. For them to have their strength challenged, it's almost like an insult. If somebody is a very well-built person and we tell them, can you carry this bag? What do you mean? I can carry it with one finger. They may try to carry it with one finger and they'll break their finger. That's a different thing. But, so Hanuman says, he says, yeah, I can carry you. And then, but you are so small. Just see how small I am. I'll show you. And then Sita is looking down at him, and Hanuman's size increases. Sita has to look up at him now. So, am I now large enough to carry you? So, Sita says, yes, you can carry me. But, says, I want to be rescued by Ram. So, let him come and rescue me. Or moreover, if you try to go with me, you're carrying me, then the demons will attack you, and with you, it will be difficult for you to fight. Moreover, I was already touched by a man other than my husband by force. I do not want that same thing to happen again. So, Hanuman respects her wishes. Now, this is where the Hanuman decides that I've done the service of finding Sita, but I should do something more. So, what was the acronym we're discussing? HEAD. So, we discussed expertise in earning trust. Then after that, now is alertness. So, alert means we are alert to dangers, we are alert to opportunities. So, some people just do what they are told to do and come back. But that's not enough. Sometimes, we have to think about the big picture. Ultimately, if Ram has to fight a war, then what can I do to help Ram? If Ravan is threatening Sita, what can I do to stop him from threatening? Now, sometimes people they don't think of the big picture. One of my friends was telling me how nowadays many big companies or big government departments, they work in complete silos. So it's like, if there are 3 people who are employed to take care of a garden. So you want to plant something in a garden. So you have one person who will dig the hole, the second person who will plant the seed, and the third person who will fill the hole. Now suppose somehow the second person is sick. Or the first person will come, dig the hole, the second person doesn't come, the third person will come and fill the hole. And the job is done. The most essential part of the job is not done, isn't it? So we need to do our part, but we also need to be aware of the bigger picture. And you have to see how does my part contribute to the bigger picture. So Hanuman was told to find Sita. But now Hanuman thinks that, let me do some more service. So he alertly looks for opportunity. Now he's already expanded his size. And when this size comes up, the demonesses, they can't but notice him. Then they get alarmed. And they ask the guards to come. And Hanuman has traveled light. There's no carry-on bag, no check-in bag when he flies. So he doesn't have any weapons. Just looks around, and there's a gate to that park. He just goes there, and he breaks the gate and rips apart one of the thick iron pillars that are there to the gate, the parts of the gate. And that becomes like his mace over there. Traditionally, Hanuman is symbolized with a mace. When he goes to Lanka, he does not have a mace with him. So he's improvising weapons over there. And then he starts destroying one after another, the various soldiers that are attacking him. So what is Hanuman doing now? His job is done. Should he not go? He is thinking, I should do some more service. So then one after another, Ravan hears about who's the upstart monkey who has come. That particular garden, his favorite garden, is called Ashoka Vatika. That Ashoka Vatika becomes for Ravan Shoka Vatika. It's just one after another, his generals are all being destroyed. Finally, he sends Indrajit. Now, Indrajit also is not able to overpower Hanuman by ordinary or even extraordinary weapons. Finally, he uses his most powerful weapon, the Brahmastra. When Hanuman sees the Brahmastra coming, he just folds his hands. This is too powerful. But he has a blessing that the Brahmastra will act on him, but not for too long. It will temporarily overpower him, and then he will be able to break free. So then, when he's arrested, now dictatorship is all about keeping people under control through fear. So Ravan is a dictator of Lanka. And for him, that there is some person who has come in the favorite forest grove of Ravan and has destroyed the forest grove and has killed so many of his soldiers and generals. That is like a slap on his face. And in order to establish his power once again, what he tells us, this person has been arrested. Parade him through the streets. Anybody who dares challenge Ravana, let us show what happens to him. So then he's paraded through the streets. And while he's paraded, at that time, the soldiers are kicking him, the soldiers are insulting him, the soldiers are whipping him. Now all this for a powerful warrior like Hanuman could be humiliating. But Hanuman doesn't bother about that. His focus is on seeing opportunities for service. So the demons have their own agenda. They want all the citizens to see what happens to anyone who dares to challenge the might of Ravan. And so they are parading Hanuman through the streets. But Hanuman has his own plan. While he's being paraded through the streets, he's looking at all the military formations. What are the strong points? Where are the weapons kept? Where are the weak points? From where can we attack? Later on, after Indrajit fells Ram and Lakshman, and it's presumed that they are dead, the Vanar Raksha celebrating. At that time, the Vanaras later launch a surprise attack. And that time, Hanuman leads the attack based on his knowledge of the insides of Lanka. So sometimes we may be humiliated, we may be disrespected. And it's going to be very painful when that happens. But in that also, we can see, is there something I can learn? Is there some service I can do? For a devotee, service attitude is what always protects. And that Hanuman maintained that service attitude, constantly looking for opportunity to serve. Now what is he doing? Like I said, he had completed business. Why didn't he go back? He wanted to do reconnaissance. He wanted to also give a warning to Ravana. In case Ram is not able to reach within 1 year, there's a little delay. He doesn't want disaster to happen. So Ravan needs to be given a stern warning. So Hanuman lets himself be arrested and paraded because he knows eventually he will face Ravan. And when he faces Ravan, finally he comes into the court. Now this time he sees Ravan in his full regal majesty. He has seen Ravan thrice before. Once when he was abducting Sita. Then when at night and he was sleeping, Mandodari was next to him. Then he saw her, almost like a half drunk, half awake stage going towards Sita in Ashokvatika. But now Ravan in his full regal majesty, sitting on the throne of Lanka. And it's amazing. What is the first thought that Hanuman has? See, this person has such power, such splendor. If only this person had been dharmic, if only this person had been a devotee, he would have done so much good for the world. This person could have become a protector of the gods who protect humanity. But unfortunately, so he's now a threat to everyone. So this is the sign of a healthy mind, is to look for good everywhere. Now that does not mean we don't see the bad, but we look for the good, to see the potential for good everywhere. When the mind is very sick, it only sees problems everywhere. It only sees negativities everywhere. So Hanuman knows that Ravan is a terrible person, but still he sees, this person has power, this person has splendor. Only if this person had character, it would be so good. And then they start speaking. So some of the demons are saying, he should be punished and he should be killed. Ravan is also very angry, but he says, I want to know who this person is. I want to know why this person came and did such a damage to my favorite garden grow. So then he has him questioned. And Hanuman says, I am messenger of Ram and I have come with a message. He said, if you are a messenger, you should have come here straight. Why destroy my carriage? He said, I am a messenger. First, you should give me a seat. He says, you didn't act like a messenger. You destroyed my forest grove. You destroyed my soldiers. You killed my generals. He says, you don't deserve the respect for a messenger. Then Hanuman, what does he do? He expands his tail. And he expands his tail, and normally in a court, normally in a royal court, the king sits in the highest position. Hanuman expands his tail so much that tail becomes a higher seat than Ravan. And first time in his court, Ravan has to look up at someone. That itself is infuriating. Then now Hanuman decides to play coy over here. He says, actually, I'm just a monkey. I was hungry. I was eating some fruits while I was jumping from tree to tree. The trees broke down. And when the trees broke, these soldiers attacked me. And in self-defense, I attacked them. More soldiers attacked me, then I attacked them again. So he says, now he's playing, he's assessing, he's trying to understand the mood of what is going on in the forest, in the palace. Is everyone there with Ravan? Or are there some people dissenting over there? He's observing everyone. And then, that is, he says, okay, but what is your message? Why have you come here? So he says that I have come as the servant of Sugriv, who is in alliance with Ram. And Ram has warned you, return Sita immediately. Otherwise, an entire army will come and destroy all of Lanka. Now, Ravan does not like looking at anyone above him in his own court. And to be chastised and warned, this is just unbearable, he says. You fool, who do you think you are? You don't know who I am? You don't know what I can do? He says, we will kill you right now. So Vibhishan intervenes. In many ways, here, Hanuman is playing coy and is playing provocative just to see if there are some dissensions in Ravana's rank. When he is provocative, Ravana is going to attack. And then if anybody stands up for him, that means that is a person on their side who is not completely on their side. And that's why later when Vibhishan comes on Ram's side, at that time Hanuman is the one person who says that we should accept Vibhishan. All the other Vanaras say, No, he's a demon's brother, he's Ravan's brother. How can we accept him? So then Vibhishan says, he's a messenger. He should not be killed. But he says, but still, he killed my soldiers. He should be killed. So he says, but now Vibhishan here appeals not to Ravan's morality, because that demon has no morality. But he says he appeals to his dignity. He appeals to his sense of fame. See, long ago, now some people say the Uttarkhand of the Ramayana is interpolated, because here Vibhishan and Rama are discussing and they are saying that actually a messenger should never be hurt or harmed or killed. But long ago, when Ravan had seized Lanka from Kuvera, when Kuvera was not there, at that time Kuvera had sent a messenger saying that this is my kingdom, give it back, and Ravan had killed Kuvera. So Ravan has already done heinous things. So they say therefore that whole section is interpolated, but it's a very superficial argument. But anyway, at that time Ravan was just establishing his power. At that time he just wanted to be brutal in any way he could be. But now, see what happens, when even bad people, they rise to the top, they want to look good in people's eyes. Isn't it? No, bad, everybody wants, people when they become powerful and successful, they want all the good things in life. Okay, first I want power, wealth, I want prestige. And then I want not just the prestige of having power and wealth, I want the prestige of being a good person also. That's why some wealthy people give a lot of charity. Now they may earn the wealth by sucking the blood of poor people. But they will give charity to the poor people to look good. Now, this is not true for all wealthy people. But the point is that some wealthy people also want to look good. So he appeals to his sense of pride. And he says, what will happen to your good name if it comes to be known that you killed a messenger? So Ravan thinks, okay. But he says he should be punished. He says, monkeys are very proud of their tail. He says, and it is with that tail that he has humiliated me. Let us burn his tail. Now, he has a plan. He thinks that his tail will be burned and then we'll release him and he'll go back. And when he goes back to his family and friends, they will all see his charred condition. Either they will laugh at him or they will tremble in fear of my power. Either way, my purpose will be served. Now, Hanuman girds himself. His tail is going to be burnt and he's ready to tolerate the pain. But then, now all while this is happening, this is big news. There is no live broadcast over there. But what is happening in the court, there are all messages. The whole kingdom is alive over there, a buzz. Because never before has something like this happened. Anybody coming into Lanka and penetrating Lanka and threatening Ravan. So there are people from the court just running around and telling everyone. So Sita also comes to know that Hanuman is to be burnt. His tail is to be burnt. And then Sita prays to Agni Dev. And she says, please don't let Hanuman feel hurt. Now, don't let Hanuman feel pain. So Hanuman is ready and his tail is lit. And now the Vanaras, the Rakshasas, his tail is so long that to put some inflammable material on it, to tie it with inflammable, that itself is exhausting. But finally they do it and they light it. And then Hanuman sees, he doesn't feel any pain. He says, when are they going to light it? Looks back, hey, a huge fire over there and there's no pain. And now, see, when we are proud people are very eager to take credit for things they have not done. And humble people, they want to give credit to others even for things they have done. So Hanuman says, just see, I am so powerful that this tail doesn't burn me. But he thinks, I don't have this power. So how is this fire not hurting me? Immediately he thinks, now who could be doing this for me? He knows Ram is all powerful, but Ram does not know his plight right now. At least he does not know whether Ram knows. So he thinks it must be Sita's doing. And he mentally thanks Sita. And then as he's waiting and watching, the Rakshasas are looking at him. They were, why is this person not in pain? What is happening? And then Hanuman suddenly gets an idea. This burning but not hurting tail is a ready-made weapon for him. So Ravan, in trying to humiliate Hanuman, has given Hanuman the weapon to humiliate Ravan. So Hanuman immediately grabs the opportunity. And that is the last part in the head acronym. D is deterrence. Deterrence is where if somebody is trying to do something terrible, then we need to show them that there will be terrible consequences if you do this. So in real world geopolitics, deterrence is very important. If the other person feel that they can get away with something, then they will do more and more and more of that thing. But where deterrence is there, then they will not do that much. So India, Pakistan, China, there are 3 wars, many wars, but 3 major wars that happened between them. But in the late 1990s, since all 3 of them have got nuclear weapons, although there has been some tensions, but there has been no outright war. This is not a support of nuclear weapons. Just the principle of deterrence is being said. That when people know that there will be consequence for their actions, then that deters them from doing crazy things. So Hanuman wants to deter Ravan from doing anything crazy. He wants to give a stern warning to him. So he jumps up into the sky, jumps up, and his huge tail is lit with him. He just breaks free of all the ropes. The Brahmastra has long ago stopped having an effect. Hanuman is just waiting for the opportunity. And the Rakshasas are stunned. And Ravan wanted to humiliate Hanuman, but what is more humiliating than a prisoner breaking free, not from the prison in the darkness of the night, but a prisoner breaking free in the middle of the day, in the court with everyone visible. So if Ravan wanted to establish his authority through fear, just Hanuman's escaping itself is another big slap on Ravan's face. And then, first Ravan is shocked. How did he break free? What happened? But then, before he understands what is going on, Hanuman jumps on to one of the buildings. Now it is said that his whole city is a golden city. Now gold does not melt very easily. And for a golden city to burn, the temperature has to be immensely high. But Hanuman, by this blessing, his tail is burning but is not hurting. He uses that tail and he sets one building on fire and another building on fire. And the Rakshasas are trying to attack him, but Hanuman is expertly dodging them. And soon the fire starts spreading. And Ravan does not know, but Hanuman has a hidden ally. That is Vayu. Vayu starts blowing. Whichever direction Hanuman goes, the wind starts blowing. Like a small fire starts becoming like a forest fire. Recently there was this horrifying fires in LA. Now, the fires occurring is not an uncommon thing there. But it's like all the bad things happening at the same time, wrong things happening at the same time. A fire coming at the same time, there being a stormy wind in the direction where there is human habitation. Then it's devastating. So, Ravana's Lanka starts getting burnt. Ravan doesn't know. Should he stop Hanuman? Should he stop the burning of his city? And he tries to do both and he succeeds in doing neither. And then within just a short while, more than half of Lanka is burnt. And then, like in a movie, there's a spectacular climax. So Hanuman climbs on the border wall. And his tail is still burning. And he raises his tail high above him. His long tail is like a blazing fire above him. So with that blazing fire behind him, Hanuman looks extremely scary. He looks like an angel of death or devastation. And there Hanuman speaks in the most thunderous voice. "Oh Ravan, you just saw what one servant of Ram can do. And I am the smallest of the Vanaras, that will come in thousands to destroy your Lanka if you do not return Sita. And then Hanuman jumps. It's like as if to more spectacular effect. Just by his jump from that wall, the whole wall crumbles. Hanuman leaps into the sky. As he leaps into the sky, the whole of Lanka is filled with shock and horror at what has just happened. Ravana's authority has been undermined like never before. And if there is any chance that Ravan could have come to his senses, Ravan may not understand the language of morality, but would he at least understand the language of force? That his entire army cannot stop one soldier, one person from his opponent army. What chance does he have to win? So Hanuman has done all that he can to deter Ravan from his course of either hurting Sita or even holding Sita on. And then he leaps into the ocean and extinguishes the fire in his tail and then leaps up again and goes back. His mission to Lanka, spectacularly victorious. Shri Hanuman Ji ki Jai. So I'll summarize what I discussed today. We talked about how Hanuman Ji is called as Buddhimatam Varishtam. He's the best among intelligent people. Why is he called like that? We discussed that from the activities that he does in Lanka. So we discussed the acronym. What was it? Head. So H was hope. So when he's unable to find Sita, he starts losing hope. But he gets his hope back by thinking of the dark consequences that would come. He says, I cannot live and see this happen. I would rather die trying to prevent this from happening. So sometimes hope can come by envisioning the wonderful that we want, and hope can also come by envisioning the dreadful that we just will not accept. With that hope, he pushes on. Then next was, E was expertise. Expertise in earning trust of Sita. He doesn't just go straight forward and demand that, and proclaim himself, I have come for you. He actually talks about Ram, glorifies Lord Ram, and slowly, sweetly earns her trust. He does not demand that I have done so much for you in coming here. He waits. And then by showing her the signet, by speaking about intimate pastimes, slowly he wins her trust. So whenever we have to do service, it's important to have hope, but expertise is also required. And then after that was alertness. Yes, we did our service, but that service is a part of a bigger mission. Can we do something more? Not just operate in mental tunnels or have a tunnel vision or operate in complete silos. So he thinks, what more can I do? So he decides, I will do reconnaissance to understand what are the strengths of Ravan. And thus, he challenges the demons, fights with them. Even when he's arrested and humiliated, rather than focusing on his humiliation, he's still focusing on observing what is going on. Even when he seems to play and provoke in Ravan's court, he's trying to see if there are any cleavages, any dissensions in his rank, which can be used by Ram. And then finally, D was deterrence, where he decides that he warns Ravan, but he understands Ravan is not a person who is going to simply understand the language of words. So he uses the language of force. Sometimes the smaller destruction may be required to prevent a bigger destruction. So when he destroys Lanka, the point is not just wanton anger. The point is that he sees by his alertness that I'm a burning but not hurting tail is a ready-made weapon. So Hanuman, what Ravan tries to use to humiliate Ravan tries to use to humiliate Hanuman, Hanuman uses that against Ravan. So then he uses that itself to burn Lanka. Sometimes there's a trail-blazing adventure, we say. Trail-blazing is very extraordinary. So Hanuman's adventure in Lanka is trail-blazing and tail-blazing. his tail is literally on fire and he is blazing. And then finally, as a final sign of deterrence, what does he do? On the border wall, he proclaims not just his own power, but the power of Ram and the power of those who are supporting Ram. And then, with a spectacular visual demonstration of his power, crushing the border wall of Lanka, which has never fallen before, which is the symbol by which Ravan establishes and proclaims his power. Then Hanuman leaps and goes back victorious. So we all can pray to Hanumanji that whatever challenges we face in life, that whatever services we need to do, that may we always have hope, may we always be expert, may we always be alert, and maybe always in our devotion use whatever is required, including deterrence, to achieve whatever service we are called upon to do. Shri Hanuman Ji ki, Shri Hanuman Jayanti Mahamahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. Yeah, the books. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So much of what I spoke about, say humility, about hope and expertise, some of alertness, those things are explained in this book. It's not about exactly about Ramayana, but this is Gita for the CEO. Now a lot of people would like to know what is the practical wisdom, especially for professional success in spiritual books like the Gita. People want to know the art of war and other books like that. So the HarperCollins asked me to write this book. And this is also, the Gita is a conversation. This is also a conversation which explains the Gita's principles through a conversation between two people or corporate leaders. One is a corporate leader who knows the Gita, the other one who wants to know the Gita. And there are some simple illustrations and diagrams which explain the concepts. It's light read. And it explains how we can, just like Arjuna was not just a great devotee, but also a great warrior. He was a great leader. Like that, we can also be successful in all walks of life through the Gita's wisdom. And this is a more devotional book, Prayers Inspired by Bhagavad Gita. This is 122 prayers. There's a beautiful picture of deity of Krishna, one line summary prayer. Then there's a Bhagavad Gita verse, and that verse is poetically rendered over here, so that we can get a feel of the poetry and the beauty of the Gita. And there's a one page prayer reflection on that verse. So this is the way in which we can not just connect with the wisdom of the Gita through a prayerful devotional mood, but also connect with Krishna. And we all want to, if you want to pray, sometimes we can pray from our heart, we can pray scriptural prayers. But can we bring both of them together? We take scriptural verses and prayers inspired by us. So there's a table of contents with about 122 titles. So whatever you feel is your prayer need at a particular time. If you're going through hard times, you're not able to make sense of life, your mind is going wild. So whatever it is, all that is, there are various titles, you can just easily refer to it. It's also a very good way if you're doing your daily morning prayers or morning chanting. Reading one reflection can calm the mind and put in a devotional frame of mind so that we can pray more effectively. And much of what I spoke about Hanuman is in this small book, Living the Ramayana, especially about Hanuman's adventures in Lanka. So I've written several books on the Ramayana, but this is one of the smaller books, applying ancient wisdom to modern times. So all these books are available outside. If any of you want, you can take them from there. I'll also be here for some time if you want a signature or if you want to ask any questions. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
All the retreat participants also can come to downstairs for prasadam now.
Sundaram. Do you want to do announcement now? I think everybody's leaving. Should I do that?
Ah, yes, Prabhu, yeah. Oh, announcement for...
You send this message.
oh, this is for Baltimore Temple. For Baltimore Temple only.
You want to announce or should I announce it?
No, not here. I'll announce there. I meant
Oh, okay.
poster they send out. Oh, sorry. I should have been clear. I meant for a poster.
there.